There are a lot of successful people out there. I know because I've met many of them. Their stories and the passion that led them to chase their dreams. That's what this show is about. Let's get started.
Community for us is everything. And we are a part of our community, and the community is a part of us. And we try to volunteer for as many events as we can and do as many events as we can. And we like to be there where we're needed. My name is Bill Paul, and I was born in Toronto, about 2 blocks away from Casa Loma, one of my favorite buildings in Toronto, and crawled to London in the back of my parents' Oldsmobile when I was 2 years old. My father taught university at the University of Western Ontario, now called Western University, taught psychology there. And my mom was an artist and a writer, and I learned a lot from both of them. And my grandmother was an entertainer, and I learned how to be an entertainer from her. And I grew up in London, Ontario, but we went on a lot of vacations, so I always got a job at any resort that we were vacationing at, and I got to stay longer. So I've worked at resorts in the Caribbean and Mexico, Hawaii, Europe, and right across Canada and right across the United States. I went to Broughdale Public School and then Bishop Townsend Public School. I knew the school songs for all of them. Went to Central Secondary School and was part of student council there, ran the school newspaper, and had a lot of fun. Learned some things too, mostly in after-class participation in student council events and doing the newspaper. In high school, I also got involved in, actually in public school, I got involved in broadcasting. I was one of the first romper room kids in the early 60s. And so that was my first taste of television. And then I went on from there to television in the Saturday Morning Club, and then from there to a game show for 2 years on CFPL television. We were on in 1967 and 68 for right between the Beverly Hillbillies and Rat Patrol. I had a lot of fun doing that. In high school, I was involved with the school newspaper all 5 years of high school. That was back when there were 5 years of high school. Then I went to Western, journalism and psychology, and I used both every day of my life. And practically lived on campus because my father taught there, so I grew up on the campus of Western. And well, in my 20s, I decided that I wanted to make people happy for the rest of my life, and I wanted to make people have fun, be entertained, and my father gave me some advice I've never forgotten. He said, figure out what you really, really like to do. What is your passion? Then get really, really good at it, and then convince people to pay you to do it. Well, I've always been a happy person, and I was basically brought up in a very happy neighborhood where everybody was each other's brother and sister. I was an only child, and only children sort of adopt the whole world as their family. So I adopted everybody on my street as my family, and it didn't matter where you were at lunchtime, wherever you were playing, that's where you had lunch. You just phone home and say where you are. My parents were involved in politics and business, the economy, working with the government, and so I was always treated as an adult from the age of 4. I was involved in all family decisions, treated as an equal partner because I was the only child. And so when I was growing up, half of me was adult, half of me was child, and I was go back and forth. So still, now that I'm grown up, half of me is adult, half of me is child. I can go back and forth. So it's no problem for me to get involved in doing a children's party or a big picnic or a charity event with lots of families, because I can really relate to all the different age groups there. I'm one of the world's foremost kazoo players. I played kazoo for the Shah of Iran on the island of Contadora off the coast of Panama. Not too many people can say that. We played Hey Big Spender for him, and we didn't get shot, so that was a good sign. I led one of the world's largest kazoo parades in 1976 for the Children's Museum in London, right down Dundas Street, London, Ontario, and we had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people with kazoos, and I think we played When the Saints Go Marching In about 250 times as we're marching down Dundas Street. Well, I had a lot of fun all the way through exploring show business and life. I've done 32 plays and musicals, and doing live theater is a wonderful experience and trains you for doing dinner theater, because I learned how to do improv from Second City. We used to have Second City in London, Ontario, and they had improv workshops. So I learned from them. All my teachers now have their own TV shows and commercials and things, so I see them on television all the time. I wave to my TV set whenever they're on the air. And so many people that I grew up with in London are involved in film, in television, in theater, so you can practically wave hello to them every 15 minutes on your TV screen. I've been in 9 movies as a background actor, and 2 as a main character. And working in film is a lot of fun as well, although there's a lot of stop and go to it, so you always bring a book. I noticed that the professional actors who were in it with us brought crossword puzzles to do in their spare time. I've loved going to Hollywood and visiting friends out there and being in the audiences for lots of TV shows and film work. And there's lots going on in Vancouver, lots going on in Toronto, and even if it's just being an extra, it's quite thrilling. I had so much fun doing live theater in Port Stanley, at the Grand Theatre. I was in Man of La Mancha, had a lot of fun there. At Talbot Theatre, I was involved in a good half dozen or so Gilbert and Sullivan productions. So I love the ones that are all singing, because you don't have to learn a lot of dialogue. You can just memorize the songs and keep going. I've been told I do Bill Paul better than anybody else, that I have this Bill Paulish quality about me. So certainly as a performer, you develop a persona, but I think basically you are yourself. At least I am myself. I do watch some television. I love science fiction, for instance. I love comedy. I love off-the-wall stuff. My favorite movies are things like Big Trouble in Little China and Buckaroo Banzai, movies that are a little bit off the wall. And of course I love reading, so I read lots of detective novels, science fiction novels, things like that. "36 years ago, founded a group called the Laugh Guards, the Guardians of Laughter. And we've been doing that ever since. And we started off with the original 20 members, and over 36 years we've had 1,000 members, 1,000 graduates of our program, and we have 400 active members right now, but we can call on any one of the 1,000 that have been a part of it to come out of retirement for a couple of hours to do an event. We have an event, and we do every kind of an event, every kind of event you could imagine. Do you do clowning? Well, we learned to be clowns. Can you do a haunted house? We learned to do haunted houses. We did them for 20 years. Can you do a medieval feast? Well, we've done over 400 of them now. And it basically comes down to researching the topic, getting the right people to train you, getting the right people to make the costumes and the backgrounds, getting the right actors, getting the right people to direct it all, and then doing it and having a lot of fun while doing it. And so we've ended up doing every kind of a themed dinner you can think of, from Mardi Gras to murder mysteries, medieval feasts, Hawaiian luau's, Wild West shows. We haven't been stumped yet. And generally speaking, our clients who come to us have an idea of what they want, and they tell us what ambiance they're looking for, what kind of background, what kind of feeling, what do they want to get out of the night. And then we pitch them ideas. And between what they want and what we think of, we come up with a great theme for them. So we do lots of trivia contests and games. All of our shows are audience participation. So when you work with our company, BigLaugh.com, you are part of the entertainment. The audience is part of the entertainment. Not the people that sit there like this and say, don't pick on me. We don't. But the people who like to wear a lampshade on their head at a party, we help them do that. If they want to be the center of attention, then we allow them to be a center of attention, helping us to entertain the audience. We made an Eiffel Tower out of twisty balloons, about 2,000 of them, and got under the cover of the entertainment section of the London Free Press in color, which made the balloons look great. We have been in endless parades, endless festivals, been with the Sunfest in London since it's begun, and all the other summer festivals. We do things right across Ontario. We've also done them into Detroit and Michigan and into Quebec and on the East Coast and on the West Coast of Canada. So we get around. We also have members of our troupe right across Canada and into the States too. Either people that join us that live there or people that came from London, Ontario and moved out there. We do singing telegrams in our company, and I love singing. And so when somebody calls us up and has a birthday, a wedding, an anniversary, and they want to commemorate that with a singing telegram, then we just ask who the target is and whether that target has favorite singers, favorite musical, favorite TV series or movie that has a soundtrack. And then the song ends up being their favorite song or their favorite music. But we write the words a bit to be about their bad habits, embarrassing moments, likes and dislikes, sports and hobbies, favorite songs and singers. And we incorporate that into 3 songs. So somebody in the costume of your choice, and we have over 60 characters in costumes, and we have dozens of people that do this, male and female. Somebody will come to your door, or somebody will come to your favorite restaurant while you're eating, or your favorite nightclub, or your house party, or wherever you want to be, and start singing about you on your birthday, wedding, or anniversary, or maybe you got a job promotion. Very special people who come up through the ranks to help coordinate these things, to generate ideas, to keep it going, and to make sure everything happens on time and exactly the way the client wants it. We call these, because it's Laugh Guards, we call it the Lieutenants. So the lieutenants of the organization make sure that everything happens on time and the way the client wants it to. And usually we try to give more than what the client is expecting. Top face painters in the land who increase their expertise every year. Some of them have been with us for 36 years. And now their children are working with us too. And almost into grandchildren working with us. So we have 3 generations of Laugh Guards and Big World of Laughter doing this wonderful, wonderful work. So I would like to hats off to Doug Rogers, who was right in it from the beginning and still does caricaturing with us and has done lots of acting with us. And Ray Clancy, who's been in it from the beginning. And there are literally hundreds of people that I love to mention. We volunteer for lots of walkathons and charity events and everything that comes along. And if we have time to do it, we do it. We do big corporate events, and we'll have, 10 clowns, a magician, a juggler, a band, a DJ, face painters, balloon makers, unicyclists, stilt walkers, fire spinners. So they all work with us, and we have a great time. We've had times where we'll have Chinese families, Indian families, or whatever, new to Canada. And they'll say, can we have a clown? I said, not only can you have a clown, I have a clown that speaks Chinese. I have a clown that speaks French. I have a clown that speaks Italian. So we can do it in usually the language they're most comfortable in. The events that we do are many and varying, and some events we've been doing for 30 years in a row. 35 years in a row. And people expect us to be at those events, and they'll even phone us and say, when is that event this year? Certainly one of my favorite charities to work with is Jesse's Journey. And I knew Jesse, and I know his family, and they do really worthwhile work. But there are literally thousands of events and charities in this area that do really great work, and we try to be a part of all of them. It's very special to me because I'm an only child. And as I mentioned, only children tend to adopt the world. So when I'm doing a singing telegram or a birthday party for a family, I feel a part of that family. I feel like Uncle Bill. And what's special about that is in many families, they phone us up, and every 10 years, they'll have me come back and do a singing telegram for mom or dad, because 10 years ago they had me. And they said, well, this time, why don't you bring Marilyn Monroe with you, or you bring Elvis with you, or something like that. And so every time it's a little bit different, but there's a continuity. And they've shown me photo albums. This is what you look like, Bill, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, and 30 years ago. I've been doing it long enough now that I have moms coming up to me and said, you did my 5th birthday. Now I have a 5-year-old child. Will you do their birthday? And so I'll go and do their birthday, and they'll go, Sydney, this is my childhood entertainer. When I was your age, he came and did my party. The things that make me the happiest are when I'm entertaining, and it's something very special. And what's nice about our company is that we're involved in the most important days in people's lives. Their birthday, their wedding day, anniversary. My radio show is called Straight Talk. It's had the same name, been on the same station with the same host for 34 years. So if it's not a record, it must be close to a record. We do episodes every week, and including all my episodes from the radio shows over 34 years. I also did 25 years of half-hour interviews for Rogers Cable 13 in London, and a lot of interviews for my public school newspaper, my high school newspaper, my college paper. If you put all those interviews together, I have now done 10,000 interviews. Recently, I had a guest on named Linda McQuaig, who's written a lot of great economy books, and also just wrote a new one that she was talking about on my show called The Trouble with Billionaires. And it talks about what's been happening with the economy over the years. And she says basic problems started in the 70s when various powerful people in our society, mostly in North America, started to bring to pressure on governments, repealing various tax laws and changing the economy, and leading to what happened in 2008, and comparing the world in 1929 to now, saying we're heading for a fall, and that a big bubble is building up as far as finances for various countries in the world. We always need entertainment, and certainly during the Great Depression, people went to movies more than any other time. There were more theater, more of everything, because people need to be entertained. Now people need to be entertained. The performing arts are important to every economy in the world. Some people realize that and some people don't. But more and more people are realizing that if you have live theater, that you have art shows, that you have dance shows, that you have festivals. Not only does it entertain the public and educate the public and give people lots of jobs, but it also generates money for other businesses, for people who provide food, people who provide souvenirs, T-shirts, everything. Everything revolves around the entertainment industry, and the entertainment industry revolves around everything else in society. So supporting the arts, you're going to get double your money back. Supporting the arts, you're going to get triple your money back. I think Southwestern Ontario has always been in the right place We're just waiting for the right time. Now, we're halfway between Toronto and Detroit, a good location to be in. We've got plenty of beautiful farmland, of raising lots of produce, so that we can have a meal that is grown within 50, 100, 500 miles of home. I think that we're going to find new areas to become experts in, and that'll be the future if we find the right technologies, the right jobs, the right companies to fill the gaps around the world, and do them locally and present them globally. And I see a rosy future for us if we can do that. London and St. Thomas are my home bases, and there's so much going on here, and it's such a cozy place to be. And I love traveling and going to other places, but I also love coming home. So, and London is home. And as things grow in both London and St. Thomas, Woodstock, Strathroy, there's more opportunities here to do things locally. There are more production companies, there are more theater crews, there's more commercials being shot, there are more videos being done, more musicians, more everything. And so many festivals in this area. You can go to a festival just about every week of the year, and some weekends you can do 5 festivals.